Well, a very Merry Christmas morning to each and every single one of you. I hope it's been great. I hope Santa Claus brought you lots of gifts. He brought me a gift this morning that apparently I'm going to need a tool to open. It's still in the theft-proof package that it comes in. I guess his little elves forgot to take the theft-proof packaging off of it, and it is tough. So we're going to go out to the shop this morning and see if we can find a tool to do that trick. And I gotta warn you, she is a right mess. There's no doubt about my brain disease that keeps me from cleaning shit up. It exists, and it is self-evident, very, very self-evident in this, what you're about to see. So, it's a cold one this morning. I'm still in my robe. I didn't want to have to do this, but those elves are gonna force me to go out here and check it out. So, let's go over to the shop and see what we can get into. Maybe we'll see what other projects I've done in the past. And I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to find a project to tear apart and reverse engineer. I think that's what we need to do. Let's go over there. Oh, and there she is, the queen of the show, the famous, around these parts, wooden CNC machine. Yeah, it's a CNC router, basically. CNC controlled 3-axis router. She comes from this computer, what we bring into this magical box of mystery from the computer, and we output through these phone cables overhead. That's just Cat 3 phone cable. We bring it down and we rope it into the stepper motors on the sides here. Now, we'll go into an in-depth production here in the future, maybe about this. There's a little gal here. She's been here for years. I think she's 4 years old now. Probably the 4th or 5th generation of similar machine, the biggest by far, and also probably the least accurate. There's just no way out here in this cinder block shop to keep the wooden table stabilized that keeps it from twisting, and it's not quite square. It runs good in a small area. If you want to run something small, it runs good. But if you want to use this table area, I believe that this was, I think it was 44 by 54. I believe it's 44 wide. I think I can route 44 wide, 54 long, maybe 64 long. I forget now. No matter. But if you go to do something that big, you definitely can tell the squareness is lost. But if you want to stay in just a small area, you know, route a plaque, route some Lexan, some small aluminum pieces, it works pretty well. So we'll go over that. And you know what? Hey, let's use this. This is it. This is it. This is what we're going to do. I was just going to come in here and like take the miter saw and just cut this package open. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to CNC route that package open and get started. So let's get the auto transformer hooked up and we'll go from there. If you didn't see it earlier, this is the present that Santa got me with the what the elves left inside the package. So this stuff is pretty tough. I could probably find something to open it in the house, but I thought it'd be more fun to come out here to the shop and open it. We're going to get the CNC shit set up, and we're going to cut we're just going to manually use the keyboard to jog the CNC around and get this thing cut open, just so I can get to my tasty little 64 gigabyte SD card inside. Remember, kids, don't try this at home. I'm what they call a moron. The autotransformer, a fabulous model of physics in action. So let me unwind this this crazy secondary that I've got wound on here, and we'll talk about the auto transformer and how it applies to this CNC machine and why I need it. Yes, the auto transformer, a venerable piece of electrical technology for well over 100 years. Also a deadly and dangerous piece of tech in the wrong hands. What this actually is, this is a ballast transformer from a metal halide, or metal halide, depending on where you're from, wall pack HID fixture, metal halide fixture. The secondary burned up in the fixture, and I replaced the transformer, ballast, all that stuff. I replaced it with a ballast kit. And I realized that only the secondary was charred and burned up. So I cut the secondary out. You see the laminated core with the holes for the secondary. Only the secondary was bad. It was burned out. I think the capacitor caught fire inside the fixture. The primary, fine condition. And I realized that this could be used as an auto transformer because of the multiple voltage taps. In other words, you can hook this fixture or this transformer up to multiple voltages depending on what you have on site. So you've got, I think it's 5 taps in here. Let's see, you got 120, 208, 240, 277, and 480. Yeah, so there's 5 taps. And the higher the voltage, of course, the less current it will draw for the same amount of watts. The 480 volt tap and the common, there's also a common, this is a common tap, the common end. The 480 and the common are actually on the opposite ends of the coil. That's the whole coil, 480 and common. Everything else, all these other voltages are somewhere in between tapped. In other words, the auto transformer is a single winding on a core. It's a single winding with the common and 480 being at each end of the coil. What I've done here, and the way an auto transformer works, is that if you connect power, here's a power cord I have here. There's a power cord. It's hooked up here to the 120 volts and the common. The neutral goes to the common. The 120 volt tap goes to the hot. So what this does is, if you supply a voltage to the common and one of the taps, one of the 5 taps, the rest of the taps aren't supposed to be used in the HID fixture, but the other taps will have their rated voltage appear on them due to the action of the auto transformer. So in this setup, I'm bringing 120 volts in, common, and 120. And out, we'll see that you can get, come here, any one of these other wires relative to the common will be that voltage. So for example, this is the 480 volt tap, and this is actually the one that I need for the CNC machine, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So if I put 120 volts here, then between here and here, the neutral in this tap, I'll have 480 come out. Now, this will kill you dead. Do not get this wrong. Do not mistake this as a how-to video. You do not use an HID ballast transformer as an auto transformer. Would you install this for a customer if you were a contractor? Good God, no. You would not. Listen, don't. This isn't how-to. This isn't how-to. Do not do what I do. I can't say that enough. I'll say it in every video if I have to. Do not do what I do, because somebody will get killed. If you do this and you don't know what you're doing, you will die. And the people you love may die, depending on where you're at when you do it. So don't be stupid. Don't do what I do. I do what I do because I know what I do. It's not bragging. It's just the facts. I know how this transformer works. I know how I can make it work practically to do what I need it to do, and nobody else is involved. This isn't getting installed in someone else's house or factory. This isn't being operated by another person. This is only being touched by me. And therefore, I have no concern about the liability issue of it. So we're going to put this on the CNC machine and see or talk for a second about why I need this transformer. Why do I need 480 volts on my wooden CNC machine? All right. Let's get that shit out of here. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can find the other end of this cable right here. What goes in the magic CNC box of mystery. There she is. Okay. All right. Now, coming out of my CNC magical box of mystery, or I should say going into my CNC magical box of mystery, is 4 wires. Okay? First and most importantly, we have our ground. Do not forget to ground your devices. We have a neutral. This black wire carries 120 volts into the enclosure to power the router, through the relay to power the router. The reason I need 480, this red wire takes 480 volts between the white and neutral into this enclosure, because there's a 24 volt power supply inside that supplies my stepper driver. And the power supply, could I have found another one that did 24 volts or output 24 volts? Sure, I could have found another one, but I would have had to pay money for it. This one was going in the trash from a computer server rack in a commercial location. And then they tossed this rack in the dumpster, and I dove in after it and retrieved it for what I could get out of it. And the best part in it was 480 volt input, 3-phase or single phase, 24 volt DC output, very stable, super stable DC output. The thing is, it only works on 480 volts. I think it's like something like 480 to 565 or something like that, some craziness. And it's the cheapest 24 volts I could come up with. All I had to do was give it 480. What was I going to do? Well, I made it happen. I took this transformer, I hooked it up, plugged it in to the GFCI receptacle. For the love of God, don't be an idiot. If you're out here in your shop, if you don't have GFCIs, you need to get some. Either get in receptacles or protect the circuit, because your kids will come out to get dad for dinner and he'll be dead, hung up on a machine that's live from some old abraded cord or something crazy. Get some GFCIs. So you plug the machine in, plug the transformer in, it energizes the transformer, which energizes the power supply inside, and magic, I don't know what else to call it, magic happens. Well, that's it. I didn't put the transformer in an enclosure because I don't give a shit. This auto transformer, I need it to power the magic box, because the magic box only runs on 480. So we plug this guy in. Starts running. We have contact, but we don't need it right now. Okay, we're going to turn the computer on and see if we can. Here's how you turn this computer on. Listen, I don't need your judgment. I know this is shitty. I get it. I see it every day. But this is make it happen. This is what we do. So there we go. Computer's running. Ooh, she's a loud one. And old, my goodness, this computer is old. Boot into Linux. Manual FSCK must be performed in the system. Maintenance mode, the root file system on read-only mode failed. The root file system is currently mounted in read-only mode. A maintenance shell will now be started after performing system maintenance. Press Control D to terminate the maintenance shell. Give root password for maintenance. Okay, we're going to pause here because I've got some kind of freaking error that I've got to work through. So apparently, apparently I have the hard drive, I guess, or the Linux on the hard drive has failed, because this guy is asking a bunch of questions about rewriting this and rewriting that, and I just don't even understand it, and I don't even really care, because we'll make it happen one way or another, right? So I booted into Windows XP. It still loads fine. This Linux, I've never really understood it, never really got deep into it. So it asked me if I want to do this and a bunch of yes. So I keep hitting yes, and it just goes on forever. So I rigged up my granddaddy's pliers there to lay on the Y key until it just stops asking for yes. So we'll see what this does, and otherwise we'll make a video about how we fixed it, because we're going to fix it one way or the other. But I still have to get this package open. That made a pretty clean cut, really. I expected some chips to come off of that, but I don't know what this plastic is. I don't give a shit, it's lightweight. But it was going to be tough to open with scissors in the house anyhow, regardless of what material it's made from. So yeah, there we go. Got my SD card. Thanks, Santa. And next time you see me, maybe we'll be working on this computer. No, oh, you know what? I just seen it. Look. Next time you see me, we will be discussing this guy. This is a fully completed project as far as, you know, safe to use and definitely functional, but definitely not aesthetic. This is not a she's not going to win any awards for sure. But this is a thermostat. Okay, there's a temperature sensor. I forget the ratings on this stuff. We'll take it apart and look. So you plug that in the wall, and you got a display screen and some buttons. I don't even know what to do. An on-off switch and a receptacle hanging off the end that powers the load. And we're going to take a look inside and see what I did. You know, I don't remember how many years old this is. There's probably a date written on the inside. I usually do that. So we'll open it up. See what the date is. We'll see. We're just going to get into this. We're going to tear this up. Until then, be sure to like, be sure to comment, put your suggestions and your criticisms and your, hey, how can I hook up my own auto-transformer? You can't. Comments down below. Put them down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Adios. And yes, by the way, post, I am aware that this is not going to fix this. I just want to see what would happen. And to answer yes to everything is to see what happens, you know, and go on from there. So I understand this. I may not know programming Linux, but I get this is not how you do it. This is, to me, I just don't care. I don't care. We're going to see what happens. Maybe it will work. I don't know. See you on the flip-flop.